Welcome back to the Michigan Business Meet, brought to you on the Michigan Business Network. Chris Holman here, still on the island for the Policy Conference put on by the Detroit Regional Chamber of Commerce. And we have with us right now Don Tuski from the College of Creative Studies.
Yep.
So Don, let's start off with what that is.
Right. So College for Creative Studies has been around since 1909, and we focus on art and design, from transportation design, product design, as well as entertainment arts, interior design, communication design, the fine arts, crafts, illustration, and we include gaming, concept design, film. So it's really kind of a full-service, intensive art design school right in the middle of Detroit. It's been around for a long time.
Oh my goodness! Is there a degree with it, a certification?
Yeah, absolutely. You can get a Bachelor of Fine Arts at CCS, as well as a Master of Fine Arts, and we're developing some new degrees right now as well.
All right. So where does your student come from? Do you have a service area? Or do they come from all over?
All over. Michigan, a lot, of course, which we're happy to have all these great students from Michigan, but the Midwest, national, international.
Unbelievable. So let's talk a little bit about how long you've been there and your background.
I've been there since right before COVID, July of 2019. I've been president of 3 other schools. Olivet College, where I went to school, I was there from 1981 to 2010. And then I went to a couple other art schools in Portland, Maine and Portland, Oregon. And then the job at CCS opened up. And CCS being one of the top schools in the world in terms of art and design, I was really happy to interview and be a part of CCS now, and starting in 2019.
Unbelievable. That's a interesting kind of career move that you have made around here. So tell me, who grabs your graduates up?
A lot of different companies and organizations in the for-profit world, nonprofit world. A lot of great companies in Michigan, Ford, General Motors, Stellantis, but a lot of the tier 1 suppliers and designers for the automobile industry. We have a growing number of students that actually work in entertainment in terms of in Michigan and in California and Chicago and New York. We have a lot of students that go into product design, which is you can design anything. And we have students that go into the fine arts, what we call art practice now, as well as we have crafts programs that students that go into the crafts and become great entrepreneurs.
So you sound like you might be a private nonprofit college?
Correct. Private nonprofit college, independent, we like to call them. And we really engage a wide range of students at CCS.
So you also sound like the kind of a college that corporates should be investing in. Do you get much of that?
Yes, we do, and that's one of the reasons we're here, to engage a lot more companies. Right now, we have what's called sponsored projects, which we do with a lot of different companies, where they will sponsor a class or a studio, and the students will tackle the design problem or a creative problem or a process problem. And what we do at CCS is we have a company that engages with us, and they give the students a design brief for a problem, and they spend the semester on it and come up with different solutions for the companies. And we do that for the nonprofits as well. So we'll engage a wide range of nonprofits, for-profits, and we want to do more and more of that. So we have 100% of our students doing some type of engaged project with a company or a nonprofit.
So internships are a big part of your program?
Internships, sponsored projects, service learning. We're moving into doing things like co-ops, because really what happens with a lot of our students, they get hired by these companies to do art and design work, but they're also being looked upon to provide strategy, because an artist or designer is going to look at the world differently than some other disciplines. And a lot of companies are starting to find out there's real value in that. And that's where I think a lot of our graduates are starting to land, is as artists and designers in companies, but also as strategists working at the top levels of these companies. And a number of our alums actually are starting their own companies and have been starting their own companies, which is really great too. Entrepreneurship at CCS has become one of the most popular programs that you can do at CCS to go along with a major.
So you have that like entrepreneurial studies cross?
Yep, you can do any major, you can minor in entrepreneurial studies, and that has become very popular. I even teach a class that half the class is about entrepreneurship, because how do you make your way in the economy as a creative professional? And I'm telling you that the creatives really really are creating the future. They're not just happy to be on the cutting edge, they're creating that cutting edge. And businesses, corporations are seeing that real value in our graduates.
Well, you know, we waded our way through that here at this network in the early years. How do we look more attractive to get the viewer so we can get the message out, right?
And I think that's what, you know, artists and designers approach things aesthetically to make things look nicer, but also to have things function better. One of the things that our product design students, as well as our transportation, and all of our design students are utilizing the concept of inclusive design, where you're really working with the client to co-create a design, co-create a product. And that's something that's really important, as well as a lot of our design students want to design for the greater good. Design products not only work better, but are good for the environment, are good for people.
So I would suspect you have a 4-year curriculum. They have to enter there, stay the 4 years, no 2+2 with community colleges.
That's a great question. We're doing a lot more 2+2s. We really are seeing the value, and I've met some community college presidents here. We're going to follow up. We already have some 2+2, but we want to do them with any community college in Michigan that wants to. It's really important that we have that kind of relationship with the community colleges, so students can spend 2 years at a great community college in Michigan and then spend 2 years with us.
Well, we're going to put you in touch with Steve Peterson, who's the LCC president at Lansing Community College.
Fantastic.
Well, and I would suspect, we got about 30 seconds, a lot of your kids graduate. If they don't start their own business, they get placed pretty quickly.
They do, and especially in the design areas and then the fine arts and crafts, they will sometimes get placed in companies too, because there's an importance, like in glass blowing or ceramics, there's a need for that in corporate America. But a lot of them are entrepreneurs, and so we're really happy when we see at industry days where companies come in and see all the great work of our students, how many of those students are already hired.
Well, it's fascinating stuff. We're going to work with you because
thank you.
This is needed.
Thank you so much.
All right.
Appreciate the interest.
Don Tuski from the College of Creative Studies in Detroit. We are not in Detroit, but we are with the Detroit Regional Chamber of Commerce, and we're at their policy conference on the island at Mackinac. We'll be right back. You've been watching the Michigan Business Beat on the Michigan Business Network. I'm Chris Holman.